Kilo, Mike, Delta, Quebec, airport information, Juliet 2335, Zulu, weather, wind 254, at 8, visibility 10, Skycam.
Here's Paragon.
Panagon, hello. Oh, great to see you, man. That fire starter emote just gets better and better and better. Thanks for hopping in here. Alright, I think we're about ready. Happy Tuesday to you as well, my friend. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Yeah. It's Fly In, Camp Out. It's the debut episode of a new series, and I'm going to tell you all about it here, you guys. But before I do, I'm going to head over to my Discord chat, and I have an unexpected but very welcomed guest. I have in the voice room right now Mr. Downwind Sim. Hello, Downwind Sim. Oh, maybe not. Maybe Downwind Sim is not hearing me. Downwind Sim, test 1 2 1 2. He maybe had to step away for a second. We've been pre-flighting things. There goes.
I was muted. How about now?
Hey, we got you. Somebody just took off. I think it might have been Steve E.H. Dell.
E.H. Dell.
Yeah, very good. And by the way, Downwind Sim, if you at any point in time want to take off as well, please feel free. I am going to take a little bit of more time than normal to do a little more thorough flight briefing than normal, just due to some requests I've had. So anyway, I'm happy to have you, but you don't have to wait around for me.
I might learn something.
I'll
listen until I get bored. How's that?
Okay, that shouldn't take long. Tuba flight. Ben, what's going on, my friend?
I can't hear you.
Yep. Sorry, I'm doing push to talk, and I'm trying to go back and forth here. So I don't know what works better or worse, but I'll try to bounce back and forth here as best I can. All right. So to begin with, actually, I think what I'm going to do is this. Downwind Sim. Hold on for 1 second here. I'm going to go to voice and turn it to, instead of push to talk, just regular voice.
Yeah, it's just us chickens. Nobody here but us chickens.
All right, there we go. That'll be a little easier on my poor scroll lock key. But yeah, we've got Panagon here. We've got Tuba Flight here. We've got Steve PHL here. We've got
Wait,
downwind
Tuba
sim.
Fight is here?
Tuba fight. That's
Oh,
right.
man.
Ben is the guy that never sleeps. It's he's just getting things cranked up now. It's midnight over there in the UK, and that's kind of when he's like he's basically just an older version of a teenager. He doesn't really even get things going until 1 or 2 in the morning. So always good to have you guys along. But all right, so here is what we're doing, boys and girls. Ooh, and I have something here that I have a conflicting graphic. There we go. We are starting a brand new series.
He says accurate. Tuba Fight says accurate.
No, he's told me as much. He says he's a night owl and he loves it. So, which is great for us because it's good to have him around, and he flies when we fly. So that's really awesome. But all right, so what's the deal here with this new fly in camp out series? Well, here is what's going on, and I'm going to share with you actually a couple of resources for this initial episode, and I'm not going to do this every time we fly.
Guide.
That's right, the dreaded Airfield.guide. But this, I stumbled upon this actually while watching a YouTube video for something completely unrelated, and I just I thought, oh, that's kind of neat. I'm always looking for ideas of places to fly, and I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. I didn't really understand it. I kind of teased this, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, but I really truly didn't understand what it was all about until I started looking more closely. So I want to go through this Airfield.guide resource a little bit. I also want to go through a little flight planning flow that I use, and then we'll go about the actual business of flying from point A to point B. So here's where we're going. By the way, I know I'm not pulling up the normal screens here, but we're down here in Moontown. So if you and part of this deal is I would love everybody to fly along with us and go through this. It's just the more the merrier. So Moontown is 3 Mike 5 if you want to load in there, and we're flying up to Tullahoma Regional, which is Kilo Tango Hotel Alpha, and then we're going to come back to Moontown. We're gonna do this VFR, and as I'll talk a little bit more in depth later on, it's not really a VFR day, so you're gonna have to adjust your weather. But there's a reason I want to do it VFR. So that's where we're going. If you want to get loaded up while I'm going through these resources, so I really don't 100% know where to start, other than let's talk a little bit about forcing your weather VFR. So the reason why we're doing that, number one, is we're going to be flying a lot of these flights when it's dark in the areas that we're going to fly. Like right now, we're kind of northern Alabama, southern Tennessee. It's starting to get dark there, and so these are not flights you would do in the dark. They're intended to be daytime, good weather flights. So if we can't get those in real life with real weather, we still want to fly the flight, so that's why we're allowing ourselves to force VFR conditions. So that means when I file my flight plan that I need to mention that in the remarks so that any controllers will know that that's indeed the case. So maybe that's the next resource to share. People ask me, how do I know who's controlling what? I currently use Volanta, which is, it has a free version and it has a payware version. I just use the free version. I think you get it at the Orbic store, I think Volanta.com or .net or .gov, something like that. If you just search for it, you'll find it. But there's a lot of them out there. I used to use VAT Spy, and there's got to be 3 or 4 of them out there. But this allows me to see if I have radar coverage just initially. And as I'm kind of noticing here, we do have Atlanta Center that's come online, and so we may potentially. It's going to be close. We're going to be right in here, but I'll show you some other ways that we can tell if we're if coverage applies to us. Many of these flights will not require ATC at all, but the other question that I have had posed to me is, like I'd like to fly, but what do you say to ATC? How do you phrase VFR stuff? And I'm certainly no real world pilot, and I'm certainly no expert, but I've learned how to talk to VATSIM ATC. And so I'll for what it's worth, I'll share. I told the person, I said, well, I'll share what I know, and you guys can take it for what it's worth and see how close it actually matches up with what you're supposed to say. But let's jump into the flight planning real quickly. So where are we exactly? Well, here we are. I'm going to zoom in. When you go to airfield.guide, you're going to see the U.S. map, and we're going to zoom in here again to northern Alabama, up here, the Huntsville area, and you'll see this little number 5. This is Moonville. Now, what this number 5 means is that's called the Relative Hazard Index, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that means in a second. But we're going to fly from Huntsville, or Moontown, I should say, to Tullahoma.
Do you have a personal number? I'm sorry.
Dingo, hello, Dingo. Dingo, I think I'm on. I think I might be on the East European server, but I'm actually on VATSIM, so it shouldn't matter. Let me just go check and just make sure. Sorry, North Europe. North Europe is my server, but we're connected to VATSIM, so that's actually kind of a part of what we're talking about also. So again, lots of questions. I'm trying to get most of these out of the way. The flight itself is going to be pretty short tonight, so I purposely did that so that I had a chance to talk a little bit more about this kind of the pre-flight stuff. But what are some things that you can gather from this resource? First of all, you're going to see up on the top there's something called the RAF, the RAF. This is the group that's put this resource together, and at first I didn't really know what it was. I thought, oh, maybe it's just this this collection of airfields that they're slowly building over time, and which that's not 100% false, but really it's a little bit more than that, and also a little bit limited. All of these airfields, that you see on the map are all a part of this the RAF organization, Recreational Airfield. What is the F? Let's just click on. I always forget. Recreational Airfield something Foundation, Recreational Aviation Foundation. But their goal is to preserve all these airstrips that are here and there, but they basically provide access for people to camp and fish and hike and do all that stuff. And they really, in some cases, they actually are the only way you can get in there. But in most cases, they are the easiest way. Like Johnson Creek, I think is an example. I mean, you could drive there, but it's way easier to fly in there. So their goal, their mission, is basically to preserve these strips, or if they need some TLC, they'll go in there, they'll fix them up, and then they just promote the heck out of it. So all these airfields are part of this group, and they have somebody that's a part of the RAF that's actually actively either restoring them, preserving them, promoting them, or maybe all of the above. So let's go to Huntsville and let's see what this guide does as far as our flight planning goes. If I click on Moontown, sorry, not Huntsville, Moontown, you're going to see a lot of really great information. Number one, you're going to see an image. Not all of these yet have images, but this is a really nice aerial image of where we're at. We are parked kind of down here where there's a little bit of a taxiway. You can see it's just a grass strip, and it's kind of I believe it's like an east-west deal. Probably the most important thing for us to take from this is the fact that it's got an elevation of 655 feet, and that's kind of it. There's some. I think this is the common 122.70 is the common frequency they use instead of we use 122.8 on VATSIM. They use 2270 here. VATSIM is always, Universal Unicom is 122.8, so even if you see something like this, I believe POSCON is the only network right now that implements this, where you actually have to tune in to the local Unicom frequency. So that's the first thing you're going to notice, which is nice. It's good to have a bird's eye view of what's going on there. The some of them will have some notes. This one doesn't really have anything. It's just talks a little bit about the history of the area. Here is the official overhead Google map, and again you can see it's a east-west running field. It does have a wind indicator. It does have a place you can park, and again it has that number 5, that RHI, that relative hazard index. So what is that exactly? Well, let me click on RHI and let me tell you. It basically just determines sort of the challenge, I suppose, of landing at this airport, and it's based on this rubric from Galen Hanselman, and you can dive into this more if you want. Each one of these question marks gives you sort of the like, why is the runway length rated as a 3? Well, if you go in here and click on the question mark, you can see they just have some values there. And so the shorter the runway, obviously the higher the rating. So the higher this number is, the higher the RHI is, the more difficult, the more challenging the airfield is to land and depart from. So that's just kind of what you need to know. So that you can dive more into the RHI. Tonight, both of these are pretty low. Like everything we flew, if you were with us for the Bush League event yesterday, everything we flew yesterday, everything we flew yesterday was, I think, a minimum of like a 15. In fact, we can just buzz over there. If you missed yesterday's Bush League event, here's where we were up here in Montana. And let me zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, so Cow Creek, I guess that was an 11. But everybody had a lot of trouble with Woodhawk. I'm thinking of the movie, Mr. Woodcock.
Woodhawk is what, 19?
It's a 19. So the toughest one there, I think, is Left Coulee. Yeah, Left Coulee is rated as a 24, and so you can go and see why. It's it's very short. It's got a lot of hazards. It's got brush density and all that stuff. So sometimes, by the way, the different runways can have different RHIs. In this case, it doesn't matter which way you land. It's tough. It's 24. I don't know that I've seen any that have been like much higher than that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
So what's like what's the one in Idaho that's like death from the river?
So that one is is that Loon? Lower Loon?
No. What's the one?
Well, I tell you what. Here it is. It's probably right in here. This one is Lower Loon is 27. Here's a 27. That's Cabin Creek. Maybe there's it looks like there's a 30 and a 31 up here. This is Red's Wallowa, and I haven't even heard of these. Meenam Lodge.
Oh.
So there.
Let's go there next month.
So there's a few that get over 30, but not many. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is we shouldn't have a lot of trouble with our airstrips today in terms of the arrival and the departure. We've got a 5 and a 3. But what we're more interested in, though, is, again, the flight planning aspect of things. So let's go back and let's look at our runway. So if we're an east-west flow, so how do I know, how am I departing? What's the weather? How do I know that? So one of the great resources, again, these are all free, and that's kind of the key theme tonight, by the way, is free resources. Is how do I figure out what my weather is? How did I know it's not a VFR night today? How did I get all this stuff? Well, if you go to METAR-TAF, TangoAlphaFoxtrot.com, and all of these, by the way, all of these resources are listed in my. They'll scroll through with the timer on my chat here. But if you just go here and you go to 3 Mike 5, it'll show Moontown. You click on Moontown, and it's going to give you really a nice synopsis. Now, this is not a full weather briefing by any means, but it, again, for the average Joe, that's flying on VATSIM that just wants
Oh, that's fancy.
a little.
Look at that.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of good information. So right now, currently, it's an MVFR, which means like a minimum barely VFR. And part of that is because of this. It's overcast at 2,800, and we've got, there's a good chance we might be flying, up close to that. So it's VFR right now, but it's kind of a lot of times an MVFR will also indicates that the weather's changing. It's pretty soon it's not going to be VFR. So and it's currently listed as overcast and up. Go ahead.
A lot of airports too will report something like this when the weather is barely marginal. So like
Yep.
as a real pilot, if you see something like this and you're just VFR rated, that means
Yep.
you probably should stay home.
And I said minimum. I'm sorry, marginal VFR is exactly right. But it gives you everything you need to know, basically. So the winds are out of the west, 260 at 8. That's going to be important for us. Visibility right now, this is the visibility where you're at. So you can see for 10 miles, basically on the ground. But you're going to run into clouds here at 2,800 feet. And then here's the altimeter setting, 29 or 68. So all of this is really nice information to know. Down here on the little compass rose, you can see it gives you a visual. Okay, so the wind is coming out of the west, so that means it's favoring. Right over here is runway 27. I want to take off into the wind, right? So I want to depart runway 27. So as I'm looking at this overhead, I'm kind of trying to picture to myself, yeah, okay, so I'm going to taxi all the way down here to the right-hand side. Remember, I'm parked kind of right here. What you don't have the benefit of in VATSIM and in Flight Sim is like, I'm not driving in here, I'm not parking my car, I'm not walking to the FBO, I'm not walking out to my airplane where I can look around and get a lay of the land. If you just jump right into your cockpit, sometimes you don't know like north from south, east from west, up from down, so it's just good to have a little bit of a visual. So basically, for me, I'm going to want to taxi down here to my right to the to the eastern end of the airport so I can depart to the west. And that's kind of the first little bit of flight planning that I like to do. So here we go. Runway 27, as I look at this, the traffic pattern, approach and departure, it's a right-hand traffic pattern. So most of you know what that means. Hey, I have a Scotsman. But if you don't, or if you forget, or you just want to confirm, you just click on this little checkbox and it'll show you. This yellow is what we want to do. We want to depart runway heading. We want to turn on the right crosswind. We want to turn on the right downwind. For us, we actually are going to be departing northbound, so we won't come all the way back here on the downwind leg, but we're gonna depart right crosswind to the north. And so that leads me into the next thing: is what do you say on the radio? Well, that's part of your like, not your last call, but that's when you're getting ready to take off. That's what you're going to say. It's November 11816, departing runway 27. Be a right-hand crosswind departure, northbound VFR, Moontown. I forgot to put the airport in there. So this is good information to have, and you can write that down somewhere. But just make a note. Right, Moontown is runway 27, and we're right-hand northbound. So that's all information you can get between the METAR.TAF and the airfield.guide. Now there are a few other things here that I'll just, there's some photos. Sometimes the airfields will actually have videos of people landing and departing each runway, which is really nice. You can get a visual of that. If you want some weather here, again, this will kind of verify what we're seeing on METAR.TAF today. Yeah, it's they're saying partly cloudy, 63 degrees and falling. It's overcast. You can see all this overcast at 2,800. The winds, they're reporting the winds are what we saw. The altimeter is the same. And then down here, you'll get good at reading these remarks here, these METAR remarks. Hey, it's James, Charlie 172 Juliet Hotel, and hey, our friend from Argentina is back, Gustavo. Hello. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. We talked about the RHI, the functions. If you are interested, like if you were wanting to get some more information about, like you can overlay this into Google Earth and get a three-dimensional look at your departure and your arrival, and you can really see like if there's some serious hazards that you have to climb out of. And then sometimes there's some links here as well. This one doesn't really have anything, but that's kind of Moontown. So we know our departure briefing. We know we're going to be departing to the west. We know we're going to be making a right-hand turn. We're going to be heading northbound. That's kind of the basics of it. And then another free resource, SkyVector. We are going to here's the basic route again. It's only 39 miles. It's not a very long flight here, but it's you hate to say it's going to be easy just because then you have trouble finding the airport. And so Dalwin Sim and myself, we are perfect examples of how sometimes a 39-mile flight could take 2.5 hours because you can't find the airport. But SkyVector will give you a fighting shot at some pretty good visuals. Like right now, I'm seeing like roads. What's the old joke, right? IFR, I follow roads. So we're not IFR, but we're going to be following roads. So I want to actually head. We kind of are a little bit more of a straight out departure, although not for very far. But we're going to kind of head to this part, kind of the north part of Huntsville. And we're going to jump on. You can see this is this is Highway 231. We're going to follow Highway 231 up here. And this is a little Fayetteville Municipal. I'm going to go ahead and put that in as part of my flight plan. We're going to come up here. We have this little Fayetteville, town of Fayetteville, I guess. And then with any luck, you can see there's a little road that takes us out here past Mulberry and Lynchburg and should hopefully take us right into the town of Tullahoma, which that's where Tullahoma Regional Airport is. So that gives you some pretty good information. If you've never really used SkyVector like this, it's pretty easy to just click, right click and just plan the GPS point, or you can plan the VOR, you can plan the airfield. But like this gives me, I'm on a 296 heading for 6 miles. I have a rough idea, of how long that's going to take. Probably going to take me about 3 minutes to get there. And then I should be turning north, about a 007 heading, a James Bond heading, 16 miles. I should see the next airport at, 16 miles is going to be about, 8 minutes. Then I should see Fayetteville just shortly after that, 6 more miles. And then my last little leg, if I, can follow this road, is going to be 21 miles. That gives you, again, a nice way to look out the window and follow your roads, follow your landmarks. Sometimes there's rivers, sometimes there's little mountains that you're following. You can see there's this woods reservoir that we should keep off to our right-hand side. If we cross that, we're kind of a little too far to the south. Fixie's here as well. Hey, good fixins. Still a bit cold for camping. Yes, I agree with that, Brett. I agree with that. But if this all fails, then you also have a few other things that you can tune. We've got the Shelbyville VOR, which is 11355, and if we wanted to, we could tune that sucker, and that would tell us, hey, we're a 140 heading, 14 miles. So if we really get turned around here, we could tune Shelbyville in. We're not going to do that though initially. We're going to just try to fly this thing visually. Now, why can't I just use my GPS? Well, you sure can. I mean, absolutely, you could plug that in. You could fly from point A to point B, and there's not one thing wrong with that. But a lot of times, the point of flying VFR is to look around, is to see what's going on in the world around you. And I've really never flown down here, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what this looks like.
What happens if you're flying in a plane that doesn't have a GPS in it?
Yeah, good point.
Or you don't have an iPad or a tablet,
or one of those things fail, right?
You would, or something fails. So you would draw this out on a chart and take your chart with you. And the other thing is, with SkyVector, Melvin, is after you plan this out, you can hit that flight plan button up there in the corner.
Yep, right here.
It'll give you an upper left hand corner.
Oh, you're doing this up here, yeah.
All of your,
Yep.
all of your distances and headings and all of that stuff. So that's a real handy thing to
Yep.
have along in the cockpit. You can print that out and take it with you.
Forgot all about that. Yeah, you can print that, or you can click on this tab here, and it'll tell you, yeah, Moontown to that first waypoint. It's well, I don't have any speed in here. But yeah, I'll probably be going about 100, 120. It'll give you distances. It'll give you time. All that stuff. So this little button is kind of nice. Thanks for reminding me about that. All right, we need to do one more thing before we can go anywhere, though. We need to go and we need to take a look at Tullahoma, because you don't want to leave. You don't want to get in the air and then you want to be looking all this stuff up, because that's gonna make that's gonna be a big issue. So I'm gonna click on Tullahoma, and again, hey, look at that Staggerwing. Downwind Sim told me a reason why the Staggerwing might be the featured photo for the Tullahoma Regional Airport. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I'd love to talk about that because it's on my list of long weekend trips to take. It's the Beechcraft Heritage Museum that's based at Tullahoma, and they have loads and loads of stagger wings, and they also have Melvin. I told you they have a Beechcraft Starship in there, which you weren't sure what that was. For those of you who have older copies of Microsoft Flight Simulator, you'll remember it's a 2-engine propeller-driven aircraft with like a delta wing and then a canard set up in front of the nose. And they don't make those anymore.
Yeah, for the life of me, I don't know that I've seen that, so I need to figure out why that or what that looks like. So some guys were asking about these sites, and I'm sorry guys, I thought I had set up a command resources. Maybe I just can't spell. That might be the problem here. Anyway, this is airfield.guide, and METAR-TAF is what we're using here, as well as SkyVector. All right, so let's take a look. It sounds like a pretty cool place, and let's take a look here at again well, let's see if there's any notes. It doesn't look like. Oh yeah, there it is. The Beechcraft Air Museum, and actually is linked in there. That's way cool. No real overhead except for the Google one, but you can see we have a couple different runway options here, which is kind of nice, a north-south, and then a little bit of a northeast-southwest runway here. It looks like all of our action here, all the parking and everything, is over on this far kind of far eastern side, and that's really important, because when you're coming in, and there also may be like a little grass runway down here. Sorry, I didn't really see that. A straight on east-west runway.
Yeah. So the other thing to kind of pay attention to this sort of thing is you'll find airfields like this scattered all across the country, and they're old military bases, and they paved runways in every direction.
Yeah.
And then after the war, it became too expensive for them to maintain it. So you really have to pay attention that you're looking at the right runway and not an old abandoned runway or something like, for instance, that number 3, where that number 3 is there on your map, Melvin.
Yep.
Like that used to be a runway, but it's not a runway anymore. So,
100%.
It makes sense to really study what's going on here before you show up, because you end up landing somewhere where you're not supposed to.
That's right. So the runways in use right now are these. Let's see, we've got a runway 6 and 24, and so that's going to be this guy right here. That's a 5,500 foot runway, 100 feet wide. It's an asphalt in good condition. That'll be plenty for us in our Cessnas. We've got if you well, let's come back to figure out which runway we would expect. Here's 9 and 27. That's actually this guy down here, and this is a turf runway. But it's 2,700 feet, so that would be just fine. But that's down here, and yeah, whatever, we could take whatever we want here, and that would be just fine. Then the other runway is the north-south, the 1836. Oh, hey, hold on for a second. That is They actually have lit up like a little turf strip here, but they're talking about the asphalt run. That's interesting that they've got this little turf. Maybe you have the option. I've never been here before, so maybe we'll do a little low pass and see. And if we've got a grass runway, maybe we'll land on that. But here it is. I'm sorry. This is the north-south. This is the turf runway. So actually, we've got four options to land. And so, which one do we want to land at? Well, let's go back to the METAR dash. I can't even talk now. METAR TAF page here. That one. And let's go Kilo Tango Hotel Alpha. There's Tullahoma.
Thank the Lord there's not been any math yet.
Oh, holy moly. So what do we have? Well, we got winds 280 at 6. And again, we're going to disregard this. We're marginal VFR right now, but we've set our weather to be VFR. So, but we're going to stick with the winds. Okay. What I've changed is the sky, but the winds we're going to try to follow the direction of the approach as best we can. So as you can see here, it's telling us that like runway 24 is the one that matches the best. You can see it's a little bit of a crosswind there. However, you wouldn't be wrong if you wanted to land on runway 27 because you can see it's almost due west. And so we'll just kind of make a decision here right now. I think personally, we're going to go ahead and just take runway 24 and just land on the asphalt there. So 29er65, and again, that's all stuff that I can be writing down.
Yeah, don't get your cat lady one filthy dirty.
No. So if we land on runway, let's see, 24, then we're going to be expecting a left-hand turnout, and potentially, I'm thinking even though this isn't a maintained runway anymore, I'm thinking they probably are using it as a taxiway. And so we'll just kind of plan on coming back here, crossing runway 36 to the ramp area there. And Good Fixins just gave you a shout out, by the way, Downwind Sim. That's pretty cool. All right, so we're going to come over here, runway 2. We're going to go.
I'm watching your chat and I'm over here giggling. Thanks, Fixie.
We want a left-hand pattern into runway 24. So here we are. Yeah, we're going to be coming from this south direction. So we pretty much can come in, jump right in a left-hand downwind, fly the base, and straight in like so. Now we'll come back to this because we're also going to depart and fly back down to Moontown. So anyway, we'll keep this in mind for right now. It's a left-hand pattern it's a right-hand pattern out of Moontown. It's a left-hand pattern into Tullahoma. All right, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a sense of kind of the preparatory things. Go ahead, Downwind Sim.
Well, I was just going to share with you 33 Foxtrot. Michael's going to join us for.
Oh, heck yeah, that'd be awesome. And really do. Again, I want this to be a group flight, and similar to kind of what we do with the Bush League events or with the virtual USA Flying Club events. It's, we're not all going to line up at the end of the runway and take off at the same time. It's not one of those group flights. Those are fun. Those are cool. But like what I enjoy doing is trying to simulate the real experience as much as possible. And because I just like that's what I enjoy. I really enjoy doing that. So Fixie needs a. He's trying to shout out. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad I had that shout out there. Thanks, Good Fixins. Brett's one of our mods, so he does a really good job with that stuff. I appreciate that. All right. So with that in mind, you guys, I am gonna go ahead and hop in. We're gonna get started again. We've kind of got an idea of what we want to do, and everybody else who's flying along with me, if you're ready to go, please feel free. You know where you're heading, and you know what to do.
He's on a 30-second cooldown.
Oh no,
He's been shouting out too much. You got to watch him.
He's been too nice. Yeah, Brett. Careful, buddy. All right, so let's get this bird going, and then the last thing I really have to do. Actually, what I probably should do is this first of all. I'm going to go to flight plan now. I'm doing since I'm in Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm using vPilot. This is, for those of you that wonder, how do you talk to ATC? You need to download the vPilot client, and you can Google search that. Again, it's a free resource. If you're flying in X-Plane, you need the X-Pilot client, which is basically the same format. However, the one big difference is when you click flight plan, it doesn't open up this little pop-up dialog box. It actually opens a web page, which is I don't know if I like it or not, but anyway, it is what it is. But I encourage you, you certainly don't have to, but I encourage you to file a flight plan and be prepared to talk to ATC. Oh, we were going to talk about how do I know if I'm talking. So let me get this filed and we'll go. I'll show you how we figure out if we need to talk to ATC. There's Steve E.H. Dell. He's already flying, I think. And good to see you there. It's onerous. All right, so we're gonna depart from Moonville. We're gonna fly up to Tullahoma. Our alternate is Moonville. We're just gonna come right back here. It's right now. It's 0044 Zulu. We'll be out of here probably the next 15 minutes. So I'm gonna file departure 0100 Zulu. Time en route for this first leg is only 30 minutes, and that's dripping wet. So we're not doing 200. I'm gonna say we probably do about 100, and so we are technically flying a little bit eastbound, so I'm gonna file 5,500. I see that I need at least 3,500 because of elevation. Now my route is going to be northbound. It's slightly northeastbound, but I'm not going to split hairs there. And then my remarks, I'm going to say forced weather VFR, just so they know that I'm doing that. And then I'm ready. I can file that bad boy right there. We are slant Gulf equipment today, by the way. We won't get into that. But all right, so you see Atlanta Center is online. So how do I know if I need to talk to him or not? Well, there's a couple things. I won't go into totally all that, but the first thing you need to know is this is an uncontrolled airfield. It has none of these rings around it. So technically, if I'm flying VFR, I don't need to talk to anybody that's not on the ground or in the direct area. So I just talk on Unicom to the people that are flying with me, which is partly why I'd like to have some other guys flying so we can practice talking on the comms. But if you ever like let's say, so Tullahoma is the same way here. It's uncontrolled, but let's say we're flying out of Huntsville. So how do I know if I have to talk to somebody? Well, if you go to the Huntsville, if you just click on Huntsville, you're going to see a couple things right at the beginning, and this is the one thing. What airspace are the ARTCC is Memphis. So if any Memphis controllers are online, then you need to touch base with them. That's kind of the long and short of it. It's not the whole story, and it doesn't cover every single aspect of VATSIM, but that's kind of what you need to know. So for us, again, we if we were flying out of Huntsville, we'd be good to go because we have Atlanta, we have Indy, and we have KC centers. We don't have any Memphis controllers online, so we could treat Huntsville, if we were flying out of Huntsville, just like it was an uncontrolled airfield.
I'm going to start, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm going to go over to voice here now too, just so we don't have duplicate on the comms there. Thanks for being here, by the way, Downwind Sim.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'm going to head over here, go to push to talk, and that way he won't hear me twice. But if you have further questions about controlled airspace, uncontrolled airspace, let me know, because I'll point you in the direction of people that understand it much better than I do. But safe to say, we're uncontrolled tonight, so we are good to go. Okay, my fuel is on. I started this plane and taxied a little ways, so we should be good to go. Mixture full rich. Crack the throttle. I shouldn't have to prime it because I did start it. Clear prop. Up there goes somebody off a runway 27. Oh, I need batteries. Duh. Try that. Here we go again. And no, not quite. All right, maybe I will go ahead and prime it here. A couple squirts. Okay, full rich. Crack the throttle. There we go. We need at least 1,000 RPMs so that
Good
we.
job.
Yeah, I needed that. Good job. All right, there we go. There we go. We've got Bubble Me Tuna. Bubble Me, I am on the VATSIM network, and North Europe is the server that I'm on. Welcome, by the way. And okay, we are going to go ahead and get the panel lights turned on. Get the pitot heat nav. I'm going to turn on all my comms here and get that on. We're going to be VFR. This is my ADF. I think the DME is over here also, possibly. I think that may be, yeah, the DME. We won't worry too much about. Oh, the DME is up here. Sorry, we won't worry about that unless we really truly need it. We're squawking. When you're VFR in the U.S., you squawk 1200, and you just turn it to ALT. I think technically you leave it on just on to squawk mode C while you're taxiing, but then when you get up in the air, squawk altitude. And then always confirm, by the way, that you're a pilot client, because sometimes it doesn't always click to mode Charlie. Make sure sometimes you have to manually click that depending on the aircraft. It's a little bit of a Microsoft Flight Sim bug. But now you'll see. So here I am. I'm my comm frequency, my active frequency is 2280. My backup is 2485. So if I do this, Moontown traffic radio check, you can see I transmitted. And hopefully I'll get a little receive here. If not, I need to go to my settings and I need to make sure that everything is copacetic here. Audio. Yep, I'm good. I don't know why. Test 1, 2. You can see I'm making volume. Not sure why nobody talked to me there. That's a little bit of a head scratcher. And Moontown traffic, November 11816, radio check.
5x5.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, sir. All right, so you'll see if it's working properly, you'll see transmit TX and receive RX. And not bad to kind of test that out before you get rocking and rolling. Okay, I think we're just about ready to fly. So we do need to set the altimeter. The altimeter here is, according to the METAR.TAF, I got to get Moonville put back in here. Moontown, sorry. Moontown. It is 2968. This is also another little bit of a bug in Microsoft Flight Sim. Sometimes this doesn't always match up. So 2968 is showing me them about 430 feet. The elevation that's listed on the sectional is 655 feet. So I'm going to do a little cheat here. Hey, Michael. So
Hey, Michael. Good evening.
Currently the cheat to this altitude bug issue is to just leave your leave it on 2992. Now the other thing that might be happening though is we've got our weather set to VFR conditions, so that could also be a factor. But you always want to confirm this altitude matches what you see on SkyVector. All right, I think we're about ready to go.
Is that right? And you're headed north?
Yeah, I've departed, headed over just north of Huntsville, and I'm following Highway 231 north, just checking off some VFR checkpoints that Melvin described in the briefing beforehand.
At Moontown traffic, Cessna 11816 on the back taxi, runway 27, Moonville.
I'm down here in Moonville
All right.
myself.
So we're going to go ahead and cut the brakes. I will put the taxi lights on, And I think the beacon needs to come on.
So I'll just kind of follow you guys. I sort of missed the briefing, so I'm not sure which direction we're going to be going.
Yeah, not a problem.
So our destination, Michael, is Tullahoma, Tango Hotel Alpha.
Mike Messerschmidt is here. How are you doing,
And
Schmitty?
from Moontown, it's north-northeast, maybe 30, 40 miles.
So the first radio call you heard me make was just a general taxi call here. It's just so people that are on the ground know
that
I'm moving and where I'm going.
You know what
Go
you
ahead
might
and set
do,
the flaps
VFR
here.
flight planning, checkpoints, and that sort of thing. So that's sort of the plan. But you can do whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, Michael, when you watch the video back, please try not to be too harsh on your critique there. I'm just winging it. All right, so there's somebody down there getting ready to depart. We're not really on the back taxi. We're sort of on the grass taxi here next to it, but we're going to hold short and let this guy take off. And so that's the next call I'm going to make. Here is Moontown traffic, Cessna 11816, holding short, runway 27, Moontown. Just keep it short and sweet. As Downwind Sim would say, if you have
Moontown traffic, Cessna 3499er Mike, he was taxiing on the grass behind 816.
If you have to take a breath in between your or during your radio call, then your radio call is too long. All right, we've got Bubble Latuna is here. Welcome, Bubba. And then Scruffy Tam. Hello. I have Mike flying with Mike Schmidt, right? No, is that I got the wrong Mike? Oh man, if I do, I apologize. Okay, well it looks like that person maybe just accidentally spawned on the runway, so I think we're ready to depart. Again, I have 296 is my initial departure here, so I'm just gonna spin my heading bug over here. All right, oops, yeah, it's gonna be right about in there. That should work, and I better make sure first of all that I get my compasses synced. So I'm on this is showing about 020. My whiskey compass and this compass needs to match up there. All right, I'm not going to worry about a run up. We're just going to kind of get going. Strobes coming on. Everything else is good there. Okay, so I can make my next call. I'm listening at the same time to make sure no one's coming in for landing, so I can make the call that I'm ready to go. Moontown traffic, November 11816 is departing runway 27, right-hand turn out to crosswind northbound VFR Moontown. Okay, so I'm still gonna, as I'm taxiing out, I'm still looking just to make sure I don't see anybody coming on final. It looks clear. I'm gonna check my runway. It looks also clear. I don't know why I'm taxiing so fast. I might have went a little too far. It's hard to tell with these grass strips. Okay, so we're lined up. We're looking for 55 on rotation. We got 2400 RPM, good power. Airspeed's alive. There's 50 and 55. Just pull back a little bit and we're flying. You know, the other thing we didn't do here, guys, is I'm guessing that there's probably a departure procedure for this airport. I need to show you guys that next time here, but we're not going to worry about that. Okay, no one is off our right-hand side, so we're going to make our last call for this particular airport. Moontown traffic, November 11816, is turning right, crosswind, departing the area to the north, Moontown.
And Moontown traffic, Cessna 909er Mike is departing 27. We'll also be doing a VFR departure to the north.
Now, we're not really going straight north right here. Remember, we're trying to pick up this road, and we have our heading bug set for 296, but if I fly 296, I'm going to fly right to that mountain. So I'm going to kind of go around the mountain here, and I'm going to try to I'm going to try to see if I can pick it up on the other side. We're looking for the city of Huntsville, and we're going to kind of be on that northern edge of that, and then hopefully we're going to be able to pick up Highway 95. And again, it looks pretty simple on the map, right? But then you get going, and you've got trees, and you've got hills, and you've got little county roads, and it's sometimes tough to pick up that major road that you're looking for.
Moontown traffic, Skyline November 8033 Foxtrot is taxiing to 27 Moontown.
But I think we pretty much are right on it right now, guys. We may be over the top of it, which is possible. I'm climbing up. 5,500 is what I have filed. And here comes our town of Huntsville. We do need to stay north of the town to stay out of the airspace. So we're staying this way here, and that I think that's our road. Now this road here, yep, it's a 4-lane, a split highway. That's what we're looking for.
Skyline November 8033 Foxtrot is taking 27 right crosswind departure to the north, Moontown.
And you notice how it matches up with the heading bug that we set here. So that's a nice little confirmation. Hey there, somebody just asked a question. I'm flying on VATSIM. Yeah, I fly on it basically every time I fly. V1 taxi, yeah, Pixie, you got that right, man. All right, so you notice this road ducks down a little bit and heads towards Huntsville. We're not gonna take that. Instead, we're gonna turn. Actually, here's where we start to turn northbound. I'm looking at my map here at the same time, trying not to be too crazy. But now my heading needs to come to more of a 007. This is our dad joke James Bond heading. So we're gonna set the bug and get it roughly there. That's, again, I don't have to be right on the dot here, but just pretty close. And if you're tuning in tonight, I apologize. I'm going to be a little bit busy looking out the window today, so I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying not to get lost. Now that might be our road right there. In fact, I think it is. So I'm going to get turning here, and I'm still climbing. It may take me a while to get to 5,500. We may not get 5,500.
This has recollections of the Appalachians. It's all looking the same.
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, and what he's talking about
Just pay attention. Keep track of where you're at.
We did an event a while back where it was such a patchwork, and you can see kind of what you have here. It was really challenging to find these airstrips. All right, so we're looking, and again, we've got some data here. So we turned, and SkyVector is saying that this leg here should take us about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, so I don't really have a clock going. I guess this clock is going down here. We could kind of keep an eye on that. But yeah, we're looking for the next kind of visual for us as we're flying up this highway is this little airport called Fayetteville
traffic.
Yeah.
Skyhawk, Skylane, whatever I am. Cessna 8 Hotel Sierra is passing over Fayetteville Airport, 2,500 south to north.
Well, the user who just checked in, by the way, with the numeric call sign there, still learning VATSIM. That's part of what we're looking to do on this particular series is talk a little bit about how to interact with the VATSIM controllers. And I just noticed I'm actually heading way too far east. I may already be lost. So look at my heading bug. So guess what, guys? I was following the wrong road. And that does happen. So here we go. We're going to do this. We're gonna head back to where we weren't lost. I'm gonna follow this road back toward Huntsville, and kind of it just turned a little more sharply than and I can see on the map the road that I took. So as opposed to going any further or trying to jump just straight over, we're going to go ahead and just head back. And I may just make 3,500 my cruise altitude. That's a pretty good altitude. I just need something where I can get a good lay of the land. If I get too high, sometimes it's hard to pick out details that you need. So we'll do 3,500 here. I think that'll be just fine. We'll pull the power back here, go about 2,300 on the RPMs. Slim Pickens. Hello, Slim. Welcome. Great to see you. Yeah. Sorry. Feel free to lurk about the cabin, man. That's no big deal. Great to have you along. Yeah, my people in chat can vouch for that. I get lost a lot, and there's no shame in that. All right, so right there is where that road took the turn, and so what I think I need to do, you guys, first of all, I'm looking for traffic because I'm VFR, so I see there's somebody departing the area down there. I don't want to run into him or her, whoever it is. And there's an airfield, by the way. So that airfield that's Huntsville. Is that no, that's Hazel Green. So one thing that I can do here is there's another kind of nice visual. If I get on the right highway heading north out of town, I should have the Huntsville Executive Airport off my right hand side. So let's just take a look here as we turn, and let's just see if this is the highway that we follow. We'll have that Huntsville Executive Airport. That'll be a really good visual. If not, you guys, then I'm thinking maybe what we did is still turn to, yeah, that might be the Huntsville Executive. I think it is, because that Huntsville Executive Airport I can see on my sectional is a north-south running airport. So I need to go a little bit further westbound and look for this road. So this road that I'm following north, holy moly, it, as you can see, it is not a major 4-lane highway here at all. Slim Pickens can relate. I sometimes follow the outbound VORs traveling inbound and think you're gonna, oh yeah, been there, done that. That happens to me all the time. But it's okay. You just practice, right? You practice, you improve, you review, you improve. Okay, so I think that's my highway over there, you guys. And the reason why I'm saying that again is
Cessna 8 Hotel Sierra is over top of the city of Fayetteville. We're now turning.
That's the Executive Airport.
2,500.
Now I should probably make a call here just in case there's somebody on the ground. Huntsville Executive traffic, November 11816 is transitioning your airspace south to north at 3,500. Huntsville Executive. I don't know if that's mandated on VATSIM because the odds of somebody being down there right now are pretty small, but that's not a bad radio call to make. I do think that's again, it's all about being safe when you're flying VFR. So if an extra radio call helps you, then so be it. Now, if that is in fact Huntsville Executive, we should see another airfield off our left-hand side here. That's more of an east-west direction. It's called Hazel Green, and then the Fayetteville Municipal Airport will be right up. Again, if this is the correct highway that we're following here, it's right up this highway. I prefer to be alive when I reckon. Yeah. The dead reckoning is it's an interesting term. welcome. If you guys are new, first of all, welcome aboard. Again, I apologize if I'm not being super interactive with the chat, but when I'm flying and trying to use pilotage and not get lost, I tend to get fixated by looking out the window. And but I do appreciate you guys being here. My name is Brant. This is the Melvin Leroy channel. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays about this time, sometimes a little earlier on Saturday. And this is the very first episode of a new series I'm starting called Fly In, Camp Out, where we fly between two airstrips that are listed on the resource airfield.guide. And we just talk a little bit about VFR procedures. We talk about a little bit about radio communication. And generally speaking, I have people in my chat that know way more than me, and they add details when I miss them. So great to have you along. I do enjoy flying the general aviation stuff, but I mix it up. My goal is actually never to fly the same airplane twice on a stream. So that means I'm not very good really at anything. You found me on the VATSIM map. Cool, man. Yeah, so we're here. This is northern Alabama, and we're flying up into Tennessee. Yeah, welcome. I did not find that other little airstrip, by the way, so not 100% sure that I am where I am, but we're going to keep our eyes peeled for the Fayetteville Municipal, which is just south of the town of Fayetteville. Again, we've got a backup plan. We do have a VOR, Shelbyville VOR, that we can use if we need to.
I think I'm going to go check out this Papa Tango Charlie private airfield.
Yeah, it seems pretty fancy there, man. I think you might fit right in, Mike. True Mav. Following your planes on VATSIM, I'm heading in the right direction now. All right, well, I appreciate that. But no hints. No hints, please. Chat. True Mav, by the way, welcome. Great to see you. Flying with Mike, my kind of flying. Yeah. Somewhere between lost and found. You guys go check out Mike Metzerschmidt. Mike Schmidt has a great Twitch channel and does a really nice job. Am I coming into my airfield? Flying with Mike. That's right. Flying with Mike. Just brought a 737 in to a seriously crosswind landing just the other day. I was really impressed with what you did. All right, I see this little bend in the road, by the way, on my sectional, so I feel like we're heading in the right direction, and I'm going to go ahead and make a radio call. Fayetteville Municipal Traffic, November 11816 is a white Cessna 3500 transitioning the airspace south to north. Fayetteville Municipal. Yeah, those of you new to the channel, by the way, what you're going to find out very quickly about my channel is the best part is definitely not my aviation skills or my aviation knowledge, but rather the people that are in the chat. First class, quality, positive individuals, and super knowledgeable, very, very creative and talented. It boggles my mind just how generous they are as well. So you're really going to enjoy getting to meet these folks if you come back. So slim pickings. I'm still amazed at how accurate sectional charts can be when you're looking at roads. Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Mobbot got you there, slim pickings. But yeah, it is nice, and certainly, you know, the advent of ortho photography and all that has really helped with that. It's made it really fun. Oh, I think I see. Yep, there it is. There's Fayetteville right there. Sweet. North-south facing runway. Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, you can see we must be fighting a little bit ahead when we're not quite making 100 here ground speed. That's okay. Airspeed, I should say. I don't know what we're doing over the ground. But yeah, Slim Pickens, you're right. For such a, I mean, they squeeze a lot of information on those sectional charts, but they do it in such a way that it doesn't really overwhelm you as you look at it. Yet at the same time, you can pick out, oh, it's the third river, north of the highway, that kind of thing. You can see the major lakes. Generally speaking, the major mountain ridges and things like that. It's pretty amazing. All right, so guys, we're getting pretty close. We're within 27, 28 miles of where we're going. Again, we're gonna fly in there. It's a left-hand pattern. Runway 26 is what we're expecting. We're going to be approaching from the south. So in our mind, we're prepping ourselves to jump in a left-hand downwind. Then we're going to fly the left-hand base, and we're going to land on runway 26. The one thing we didn't brief was the elevation. The elevation is 100. No, sorry, it's
8 Hotel Sierra over top of beautiful downtown Lynchburg. 2,500 headed north.
He's about there.
Jack Daniel's Distillery.
So Tullahoma is 1,084 feet, so we're going to call that 1,100 feet. So we're going to look for a pattern altitude of 2,100, which we'll need to lose a little bit of altitude when we kind of get in that area. But there we go. There is the Fayetteville Municipal Airport and the town of Fayetteville. Fayetteville, I'm assuming this is still Alabama, but this could be Tennessee. Not sure exactly where the borderline falls. And we're just continuing, guys, to follow the highway. It's a little tough to see, but right off of our left wing there's the highway that's running north.
PTC traffic, Skyline November 833 Foxtrot, turn to the south. We're going to be crossing over midfield to join the left downwind for hopefully a touch and go 27 PTC traffic.
Pretty soon here, that road is going to turn to the northeast, but we should see kind of crossing right in front of us here a big 4-laned divided highway, and that's going to be our cue to make that turn, guys. It's highway, as I'm looking at the sectional here, it's highway 64. So we currently, this is us right here, guys. We're currently just kind of north of Fayetteville. Whoops, I'm bobbing and weaving all over the place. We're looking for this highway 64 to come across. We're looking for the town of Fayetteville as well, and then this little highway heading out to Lynchburg will be the ticket. The direction we're looking for, by the way, is 054. So we'll go ahead and set that. I've kind of lost sight of the road, but I think we have the town coming up here. So we'll be okay. He says, hopefully. 054, so right-hand turn-ish, like that. And again, looking for that major 4-lane highway here, which should be just on the northern edge of town here. Oh, and we're running into a cloud. So again, are we VFR legal right now? Probably not. I think we're supposed to have 1,000 feet above us, which we don't have. All right, here's the town. There's that major highway, it looks like. So let's go ahead and start kind of turning this direction.
PTC traffic, Skyline 33 Foxtrot, now 5 to the south, intended to enter the 45 for the left downwind 27, touch and go, PTC.
And we're looking for something that's yeah, just looking for something that's, there we go. That highway right there looks like about it's heading in the right direction.
Entering a left downwind for runway 24 as well.
All right. So you hear the traffic, and part of what you need to be listening for when you're flying VFR is exactly what you just heard. So is there somebody else at the airport that I'm trying to go, and if so, where are they at and what are their intentions? So you just heard a lot of key information. You heard where they were. Some of them were right there at the airport. Some of them were already in the pattern. Some of them were about to be in the pattern. You also heard some altitude calls, which is good, and then you heard that they're both expecting to land at the same runway that we are, which is also very, very good. The nice thing about, if you haven't flown VATSIM in a while, the new velocity update for XPilot and VPilot has really been a game changer. It's let's listen. All right, he's left base 24. But it really has made the ability to see other traffic, like you really can see the other people that are flying in your area, and so those radio calls are very, very helpful because it helps you know where to look, essentially. All right, so the road, you can see the road out there. It's sort of tough to see out here. Oh, flying with Mike. Thank you, first of all, for being here, but thanks for the gift description. That's really cool. Let's see. That's your second one. And Kevo Zenji is the recipient of that. Kevo, if you're here, make sure you give Flying with Mike a thank you. The Crazy Syrup Guy, hello and welcome. Great to see you. You've made a lot of new friends tonight. That's awesome. Good to see you guys stopping in, and hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing. It's about to get a little bit more interesting here as I get closer to the airfield, which hopefully will be coming up here in just a few miles. I'd say it's still about 17 or 18 miles to the southwest. Generally speaking, I don't know the exact number, but when you're inbound for a VFR, a small airport like this, you can start making your radio calls about 10 miles out. That usually will get you, or it'll give people in the pattern an idea of where you're at. What a lot of guys will say too is it's important that you make multiple calls. Don't just make that 10-mile call and then your next call is we're turning final. So let everybody know when you're 10 miles out, and then when you're 5 miles out, and then when you're 3 miles out, when you're getting into the pattern.
Traffic 8 Hotel Sierra, turning base runway 24.
Just looking at your TikTok videos, cool. All right. Well, I won't be probably quite as entertaining as your TikTok videos, but good to see you. Bubble Me Tuna, oh my goodness, a Twitch ascription. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Appreciate your support. That's my grandson that you're hearing, by the way, and normally I will, when you cue up one of his sound clips, I do a little, I do a little toast. I've got some tea going tonight, but thank you, Skull, and welcome.
Left downwind 27, touch and go, PTC.
All right, PTC. He's behind us here, so yeah, and that's true, Fixies. It's really awesome to have so much traffic. Now, this road, if we're on the right road, it should start to turn a little bit more to the north, which I think it is, and then it'll basically take a sharp turn and head pretty much due east toward the town of Tullahoma. And if that's the case, then we've picked the correct road.
Welcome to Pop Culture.
Slim Pickens, thanks for the follow. Welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. And I'm looking for where this road turns back to the east. At that point, I think we can make a radio call.
PTC traffic 33 Foxtrot, short final approach 27, touch and go PTC.
Okay, there's the lake we were talking about. We're staying to the left of that lake, which is good. That's the Woods Reservoir, Tim Ford Reservoir.
8 Hotel Sierra, clear, runway 24, Tullahoma.
Okay, and I'm just looking at this road. It's running not directly north, but I think we're about on the right course here. I think we've got this correct road system here, so that's good. That's good. The crazy syrup guy is learning to get your pilot's license. Awesome, man. You got some coffee brewing as well. I am very jealous. Doing okay. I think I'm just about to Lynchburg.
And PTC traffic, Skyline 33 Foxtrot.
In fact, that is Lynchburg right there. That's the town. I would be willing to bet the town of Lynchburg. And so, yeah, we're getting close. I would say we're within probably 10 miles. I'll make this call right here so people at Tullahoma know. And Tullahoma traffic, Cessna 11816 is crossing the town of Lynchburg at 3,500. Your friend's taking you out so you can get the experience. That's awesome, man.
Don't go any lower.
Soak it up, my friend. Soak it up. Yep, and the reason why he's saying that, by the way, is, well, I'll show you. We've got a little bit of an elevation.
Slant whiskey.
Exactly.
We also have a little bit of, you see that 2-3 right there? That means that that we've had elevation.
Destination for all of our whiskey flats, right?
We have an elevation in the area that's 2,300 feet, and we need to stay at least 1,000 above that to be safe and legal. So that's why we're staying at 3,500 since we're eastbound. Our choices are 1,500, 3,500, or 5,500. And I don't want to go up any higher because I'm going to get in the clouds. So 3,500 is what we're going to be cruising at. And here before long, you can see again that road it's getting kind of tough to see, but it should be turning. It should be turning eastbound. There's the reservoir. We'll be north of the reservoir by the time we make that turn towards Tullahoma. And so, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Now, will I be able to find the regional airport? Well, hopefully. It's on the northwest side of the town of Tullahoma. So when we start to get into that, I don't know if there's buildings and stuff over there. We should see it. We may see even some runway lights or some flashing lights of the other airplanes on the ground. All right. Well, yep. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little nervous that we're losing our road here. Is it that one there? Is it this one there?
Tullahoma traffic, Skyline November 8033 Foxtrot, 10 to the west, 2,500 feet. We're going to be making entering a long left downwind for 24 Tullahoma.
All right, so he is currently behind us, and that was a nice call that he made. That kind of gives us an idea, but he's going to be a lot faster than we are, so we may have a little bit of talking to do. Now there's potentially a road that's running due east. Let's see if that is in fact a road or just like a little cutout. Well, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. This is where it's getting tough. Well, let's make our turn And I think we see the city of Tullahoma, so Tullahoma traffic, white Cessna 11816 is about 5 to the west of the field, 3,500. We're going to also enter the pattern left-hand, pattern 26, Tullahoma traffic. All right, so I've got the field in sight, and I'm going to go ahead and start to descend. Again, I need 2,100 so that I can get into the traffic pattern. We're expecting 26. So something that you can do here is you could spin your heading bug around. If you had an OBS, you could spin that around also. But I kind of like to just have a little bit of a reference, as you guys saw. That way I know how well I'm doing on my different legs. So this is going to come all the way around to 2.6. Perfect. So yeah, we need to kind of aim a little bit more to the south. Put that 2.6 right at our 6 o'clock. Now the other thing you would want to do here is, if there was any kind of a wind, a crosswind component, you'd want to correct a little bit for that. I don't think we really need to. We've got the field in sight. We're definitely not down to 2,100, and we may be a little bit wide. It's not the tightest pattern in the world here as well. Let's get ourselves down. Oh, my chart's still up? Oh, golly. Thank you. Map. Exclamation point map. Mike, we'll get you that. Thank you for the reminder, though. Yep.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. There we go. There's the field. Thank you for the reminder. And we've got a lot of altitude to lose here, you guys. I'm going to pull back on the power even a little bit more here. Nothing below 1,000, but we just need to increase our rate of descent just a little bit. We should be okay. I have Sniffy's play. That's an awesome airplane. Holy cow! I actually flew the first, my first leg in it today without blowing the engines up. Oh man, I'm way off of the. I'm sneaking in here a little bit too much. Tullahoma traffic. White Cessna 11816 is a beam midfield on the left-hand downwind runway 26 Tullahoma. Maybe it's 24. Might be 24.
Tullahoma traffic, Skyline 33 Foxtrot is entering the left downwind for 24. Going to be doing a rate 360 for spacing Tullahoma.
Yeah, it's 24. I got the wrong thing dialed up here. All right, there we go. We're kind of down where we need to be now. I'm going to throw a notch of flaps out. We don't need to get too slow since we do have traffic behind us. And yeah, that makes more sense. 2-4. I had the wrong thing written down on my notes here. Okay, we're going to go a little further here. We want to be at about the 45 before we make our turn to base. Sniffy, I'm going to share something with you. Actually, if Good Fixins, share with Sniffy the new emote that my so-called friends made for me after my first few experiences with the 247. Tullahoma traffic, White Cessna 816, left base 24, Tullahoma. So wide. I'm just so wide right now, it's just crazy. There's the field. Yeah, I didn't fly a very tight pattern here. I'm really sorry, Michael.
Pattern is that? Are you flying a jet? You need that much room?
Holy cow! It's exactly a terrible pattern, is what it is. Oh, you saw that fire starter already? That's what my so-called friends made for me. Yeah, I love those guys. Tullahoma traffic, Cessna 816, finally turning final. Runway 24, Tullahoma. Plenty of room. That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's certainly was not the best pattern in the world, but I am happy that we found the airfield. Let's see if we can get
See
this
if you
thing.
can stop before the cross runway.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a little bit high up, but that's
I'll do it.
that's the challenge here. Final notch of flaps coming in. Actually, don't look
Looks like
too
there's a
bad.
bit of a displaced threshold there as well.
Yep. Okay.
Oklahoma traffic, Skyline November 803.
60, 65
Join the
is
left downwind for
kind of what I'm looking for. And then we'll ref it out right about 50. We're a little bit high. I don't think we're going to get stopped at the crosswind runway here, but we won't be too far down the way. Yeah, we're carrying a little too much speed, so we're going to float just a bit here.
Oklahoma traffic 33 Foxtrot, midfield left downwind 24. We have the landing traffic in sight, Oklahoma.
We're down. We're not going to quite get stopped. Not quite. So we're going to roll down to the end here, unfortunately. Shouldn't be too much further down here, but there we go. Get off of here and let our guy.
Everything is far.
It is. You are right. Yeah, let that landing traffic get down on the ground here. Oh man, that was bad. Tullahoma traffic, Cessna 11816 is clear of runway 24. Made that call just a bit too early.
Tullahoma traffic, Skyline 33 Foxtrot, turning left base. 24 Tullahoma.
So it's the long taxi for us here, but I tell you what, yeah, Sniffy, Sniff It Plays, it is a grumpy old bird, but yeah, so the first 3 times I flew it, I had an engine fire on the left engine before I even got going anywhere. I had an engine quit on departure, like 100 feet off the ground on my second attempt. The third attempt, I had major engine problems on the takeoff roll, and I had to go aborted. So like it literally took me it wasn't until my fourth attempt that I actually got the plane airborne. So, Jim, you got to get going. Okay, thanks for coming by, buddy. It's always great to see you, and we'll look for you. We'll look for you later on.
Tullahoma traffic 33 Foxtrot, final approach 24 full stop.
All right. I should have made a radio call because I'm crossing an active runway here, guys. That was bad on my part. So yeah, not only am I going to talk to you about what you should do, but you're going to see me probably do a lot of things that I shouldn't do, like right there.
Standing at the end of the runway on the threshold here, Michael. We'll see how short you can stop it.
I wish we could be a little closer
All right,
so you could
sounds
see Michael bring this in. He's really an excellent sim pilot, but I don't think I'll quite be there just in time, or I won't be there quite in time. Here's what my plan is, by the way. We're going to get in here. I need to take just a quick stretch break, and then we are going to do a very super abbreviated flight plan on the way back, and we're going to fly back to Moontown. So let me get parked and stay tuned. I will hop outside and give you a little bit of a bird's eye view of the guys coming in behind me here. I won't even turn the airplane off. We're going to be that fast. Maybe. I got to keep the...
That didn't look good on my end.
I stopped it real short.
Oh no. Oh no. Did we forget landing gear or something? I doubt it. He's a really, really good pilot. Alright, we're going to set that. Let me hop outside, clean up the flaps.
Yeah,
You know, nose it over.
Oh no.
yeah, it didn't feel too good on my end either.
Oh man. Alright, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. We'll head back to Moontown.
exceeded the airframe G limit.
I saw you coming in, and it was just like, man, you were hanging it there. While I'm waiting for Melvin to come back, I might do a little circuit, see how short I can stand this one on the numbers. Tullahoma traffic. 8 Hotel Sierra, taxiing from the ramp over to runway 24.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to call an end for me. I gotta get ready for dinner here.
All right, buddy. Always good to have you along. Thanks for popping in and joining us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime. It's always a pleasure flying with you guys. So, you guys take care and stay safe, and we'll see you later.
All right, Michael. Take care.
And we are on the ground, the tarmac here, the ramp area of Tullahoma, sorry. If you want to join us, we're going to be flying back VFR back to Moontown. It's we will be going, it's THA back to 3M5. We'd love to have you.
Traffic, 8 Hotel Sierra, closed traffic, runway 24.
Slim?
Tullahoma.
Yeah, Paul did some good work when he was writing to those Corinthians, didn't he? Learned everything you need to know about relationships and marriage from first. Oh, that's awesome, my dude. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's a pretty good reading, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, so let's do again. We won't do the whole full-on 45-minute flight briefing that we just did, but we'll do this instead. We're going to flip it around in, in Sky Vector. Oh my goodness, 3M8. No, 5, 3M5. There we go, Moontown, Tullahoma. Okay, so we technically we could try to fly it back the same way we flew up, which that'd be all right. Would be doable, but what I want to try to do this time is a little different type of VFR flying, which is more the dead reckoning, and what I'm hopefully it's our friend Puff MTD. Good evening, sir. Welcome. Skull. Happy Tuesday. I hope things are going well. Great to see you. What I want to show here is again, these are questions that I've been getting, or that I've gotten from folks that tune in and connect with me later on. They're like, "Why don't you just fly direct?" And I'm going to show you how really it doesn't look 39 miles, right? Doesn't look like it should be that big of a deal, but we're gonna give it a try.
Runway 24, Tullahoma.
I'm gonna set, or I'm gonna keep the Huntsville VOR in my nav frequency though, just because I don't want to get. Do you see how we've got these rings here? This is a 5 mile and a 10 mile ring. I don't want to get in that, or else I risk running into the controlled airspace, and I would have to actually talk to somebody if I did that. So if I slide my little guy over here and I click on, this is the, I guess it's not the Huntsville VOR, it's the Decatur VOR. I plan that, so that's actually over here. It's a little bit misleading, but I'm gonna tune in Decatur 112.8, and I need to be looking for the Moonville Airport here, 24 miles away on a 079. I'm just going to make a note, 079 and 24 miles. Now I'm not going to fly towards this VOR. I'm not interested in doing that. But what I am interested in is I'm interested in staying away from the Huntsville International Airport, Oh my goodness, Mike comes in with the raid. Thank you. November 8033 Foxtrot.
Tullahoma
Thanks for
traffic.
flying along with us, buddy.
8 Hotel Sierra turning
So we
runway
want to
24,
stay.
Tullahoma.
We want to stay. You know, I would say no more than 15 miles away from the Huntsville airport, which means that we need to stay. You know, heck, a good 19 miles. We don't want to get any closer than about 19 miles to this VOR. That way we'll stay out of controlled airspace. Now the other thing is, if we're at 2,500,
Tullahoma traffic 8 Hotel Sierra turning
we will
final,
technically
runway
be
24, Tullahoma.
above this shelf and be okay also. So that's going to be kind of the second thing that we do is file 2,500. Thank you again, Mike. It's awesome of you to fly along, and thanks for the raid. So here we go, flight plan. We're going to swap this. We're not going to put an alternate in. It's 1:44. We're going to be out of here in the next 15 minutes. Easy, easy, lemon squeezy. 30 minutes, 100, 2,500. Stay down low. Southbound. And again, we're going to keep that forced weather VFR on there just in case. It doesn't look like we have. Oh, we do have. Oh, so Memphis Center has now come online. So we do have technically. I need to be 20 miles out, or else I'll need Huntsville approach. Yeah.
Tullahoma traffic. Cessna
So
8 Hotel Sierra clear. runway
yeah,
24.
we're a little bit.
Tullahoma.
We maybe are a little bit. This map doesn't always show exactly where we're at, but looks like we're a little bit out. Hey, 211. That was pretty good landing. 0.9 or 7 Gs. That's less than 1 G. That's pretty good. I'll take that. How'd we do? How was our route? Yeah, here's where we took the wrong turn. It came back and got back on track. Then for the most part, yeah, we followed. See, there's the road we were trying to follow. We did pretty well. But we're going to attempt to go straight back, baby. Here we go. So a couple things to set. We'll keep the comp frequency as it is. We'll set that Decatur VOR on 112.8. Flip that over. That may or may not become active here. Not quite yet. That's okay. And then we do have a DME also. I think if I just activate that, it alternates between the frequency and the DME, which again we're too far away, I think, for that to pick up, but we are going to have that in there. And then we said 079. So that'll be the outbound. So once this comes in and we get that the outbound radial there, we know we're going to be pretty close. 079 and 24 miles. And then our dead reckoning course is 200, you guys. And again, it is shocking to me every time I try to fly direct and use just dead reckoning how hard it is just to fly a straight line. It's just almost ridiculously hard.
Tullahoma traffic 8 Hotel Sierra making closed traffic runway 24 Tullahoma.
All right, so he's staying in the traffic pattern there, so we're going to let him know that we're taxiing out to runway 24. Tullahoma traffic, November 11816 is taxiing runway 24 Tullahoma. And yeah, I got a notch of flappy flaps set here. And there's somebody, it looks like, taking off. Whoa, boy, track IR. Hello. Let's just head over there, and we'll be ready to go. Release the brake. Release the hound. Nobody taxiing in the area. This takes me pretty much right over where I need to be.
Tullahoma traffic 8 Hotel Sierra, left crosswind 24 Tullahoma.
That might have been a turn I needed. That's okay. So he's left crosswind, so He's down at the far end. We're going to go ahead and just get ready to go. We're basically straight out departure here. It's a little bit of a left-hand turn, but we're just going to call it straight out. Tullahoma traffic, November 11816 is departing runway 24. We'll be straight out VFR southbound Tullahoma. Okay, nobody I see in the pattern. Got downwind sim, he just turned left crosswind. I don't hear anybody talking about base to final. I don't see anybody out there. The runway is clear. Let's see what is going on. Yeah, that E6B calculator is really cool, Slim. Do you have a link to the one that you use? There's a couple of good ones out there.
Tullahoma traffic. Cessna 8 Hotel Sierra turning base.
I just
runway
took
24, Tullahoma.
Guys, I just took an intersection departure here. I really did not do a good job of finding that that runway. That was really unsafe of me. Holy moly. All right. Tullahoma traffic, Cessna 816. We're on the roll 24. I should have briefed the taxi, and I didn't, and that caught me there, guys. So there's an example of what not to do. Okay, climbing up.
Tullahoma traffic, 8 Hotel Sierra, turning final 24.
Pulling back on the power just a little bit here. Just 200 feet. Okay, and just runway heading here for a little bit more till we're nice and safe. They didn't catch you while taxiing. Yeah, that was bad on my part. Bad on my part. All right, there's 400 feet.
Melvin, you clear 24.
Flaps up. And Tullahoma traffic, sorry about that. We're clear 24.
Thank you.
Make our turn, and again, our goal is pretty simple. Let's try to hold this heading for 38 miles. Let's try to get to 2,500. Let's just see how we do. And then if we can do that, let's see if we can actually find this little grass field in amongst all this green. This is going to be a pretty good challenge, honestly.
Tullahoma traffic, 8 Hotel Sierra on the go, runway 24.
All right, so he's behind me. I think he was a little faster than me. He's in a Cessna 150, but I think his plane, it does go just a little bit quicker than mine. You're on the Apple TV right now. Slim is in the living room using voice to chat, so you don't really have the link at the moment. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've got one. I'd have to look it up. It's kind of cool, though. It'll give you a little bit of crosswind component, and it might just be that one right there, Slim. Thank you. Check it out. The reason you mentioned is because you can get your true heading based on your wind conditions. Yeah, exactly. You're thinking ahead of me. Oh, I'm picking up a DME here. I've got something tuned in here. Am I picking up? I might be picking up my listen here. Might be picking up my Decatur. Dash dot dot dash dot dash dot 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 dash. Yep. Okay. So that is you. I don't know how well you can hear that, guys. Oh, I can't turn that up. But that we currently are listening to the Morse code of Decatur.
2000 climbing.
Which that's really cool.
3,500 if we can get it below the clouds.
And I don't know how to turn that off, so you're going to have to just hear that. But that's a comforting sound, because what that means is that we're getting in range of that DME, which will eventually, this is going to pop up here. And do I have to go there? I don't know if I do both. Yeah, I think I'm just a little far out for it to be showing up right now on the OBS, but we are picking it up, so that's good. We do have an active VOR DME, so push the DM button. Yeah, so I'm on it. It's engaged right now. Usually when I get, but I just think I'm too far out. That button right there will give you the DME. It cycles through again. It cycles through right there. Wait a second. Hold on. Wait a second. Yeah, this is just my ADF. Yeah, so yeah, we're just gonna have to roll with it. There's our reservoir that we passed by. Oh, turn it off. Yeah, I want that on though, because I want to know how far away I am. So what I'll do is I'll wait until that comes in, till that tunes the VOR, and then I'll turn that back on and just get a sense of where I'm at. All right, but as I'm looking out the window here, I should be just cutting right across this lake. And I actually feel like I'm a little too far to the west already, because I should be cutting a little bit of this leg off. But adjust the volume on the nav radio. I guess I could do that. Yeah, but the more I zoom in, the more I get off my course heading here. So we'll just roll with it. We'll just keep it right here. The other thing that I do have that I can look for off my sectional here is that nice 4-lane divided highway that runs just right by the Moontown Airport, and so that I'll be looking for. That sucker should cut right across in front of me, and if I find that highway, even if I don't find the airport right away, I should be able to just parallel that highway back and forth. And again, we are looking at it's a right-hand traffic pattern. As you remember from our original brief, a right-hand pattern to runway 27 into Moonville. I'm trying to descend back to 2,500. All right, life is good. Slim pickings. I'm clicking on that link you shared with me. Then that's a little. I'm sorry. It looks a little different than the one I used, but I think it's the same. It's just an updated website, and it's a very good tool if you guys want to check that out. Just like he said, it allows you to put in your desired heading and the current wind information, and it'll tell you basically what track to follow and what your airspeed is going to be, and it really does a nice job. I used it when I was flying the DC-3 across the pond a few years back, flying that Blue Spruce route, and I didn't have anything to go off of other than just wind and weather data, essentially. And it helped out quite a bit. Now the other thing that you can do, and I've done this before also, speaking of that cross the pond, that Blue Spruce route that I flew a couple times, like when I was flying over the first oceanic section, I was flying from Gander over to Greenland. I didn't want to miss Greenland to the south and just keep going on the open ocean, so I purposely aimed just a little farther north of my course. We could do something similar here, in that right now I'm kind of trying to track direct to the airport, but I know to my right is that Huntsville controlled airspace, which I don't want to go into. There's nothing on my left here. I could theoretically aim myself, instead of flying at this this exact heading, I could maybe fly like more of about a 190, and what that would do is it would guarantee that I'm going to intercept that 4-lane highway east of Moontown and well east of Huntsville. That's sometimes not a bad trick to do if you navigate kind of as poorly as I do, but just for the sake of the experiment, though, we're going to go ahead and just see if we can stay right on it direct. And the person that asked me the question about why we don't just fly direct actually is not here in the chat, I don't believe, but maybe they'll watch later on and they'll see just how tricky it is. You wouldn't think it would be, but it is. We still don't have that VOR. I'm wondering if we're maybe not. Our altitude is an issue. You know what? I need to turn. This is the DME. I forgot they updated and gave us a fancy new DME. That may help my whole navigational situation here. Alright, what do I have? 112.8, yeah, 41 miles away. So I have that in there. Now all I need is my outbound radial here, and life will be good. And about 500 more feet of altitude would be good. Fixins, don't do that to me, Brett. Good Fixins has flown with me enough times to know that there is a reason for that emote in my chat. Slim, this is the JP Logistics Cessna 152 over in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is, it's really awesome. Yep, really awesome. They've done several things. It started out with just the base 152, and they've just added all kinds of things to it. Now it's a really a nice little airplane, nice little sim. The whole idea behind this series, by the way, this fly-in camp out, this FICO series, is just tapping into all the free resources that are out there. And there are similar mods if you like to fly an X-plane. There's ortho scenery that obviously makes the world look nice, just like Microsoft Flight Sim. And there is a Cessna 172 that's available in X-plane, and then there's a really nice bush mod for that as well, the Prop Strike Studio bush mod. And so there's all kinds of, I guess the point I'm trying to make is there's all kinds of really cool freeware add-ons that can really give you a realistic flight simulation experience. Too bad there wasn't a freeware taxi helper that would have helped me out. Okay, guys, this is a major highway. Uh-oh. Feel like we're a little early getting here. Yeah, I feel like we're only about halfway there, so I don't think this is the one. These are not the droids you're seeking. I'm scrambling to look. Yeah, this is we're right by Huntland right now. Yeah, we're almost exactly halfway. Yep, the Prop Strike. Michael can speak to that. He actually turned his really cool little home sim. By the way, if you guys don't already follow November 8033 Foxtrot, same with Flying with Mike that was here a little while ago. He is a Twitch streamer and has a really cool home cockpit that he's built. And he can turn that thing. The first time I saw him, he was flying it as a Skyhawk. The next time, literally like the next night, he had it. It was a Skylane, so he swapped the engine out. The next time I watched him, which was barely a week later, it was a tail dragger Skyhawk. And then, rumor has it, I've not actually seen this yet, but I'm really excited that he also has done a little bit of mod work, and he can make his sim resemble a Kodiak as well. So that's the 4-lane highway. Just so Slim, that 4-lane highway was one that's about halfway to where we need to go. That's if you look at the sectional, we just went by Huntland. So we're right here is where we just crossed. So we've got a little ways to go yet.
816 position report.
Currently northern Georgia, 2,753 feet.
So you're lost?
I believe we just passed the Highway 64 there, basically just west of Huntland, about halfway there.
Roger. VOR shows we're 22 and a half out from the rocket VOR.
Rocket VOR? Oh, he's using a different VOR than I'm using. Okay, let's do that. That's 112. Since I'm not picking up the other one, let's do that. Oh gosh, I'm drifting. Let's get back on course. Rocket VOR. I'll show you guys this in just a second. 112.2. Flip that over. Now let's see. At 20, so I'm about 16. I'm about 17 miles from Rocket, and we do have this one's coming in, so we're in good shape. Now let's just make sure we've got it here. Let's just make sure we're hearing the right thing. Let's listen for the. Cool, very good. Here's what I'm listening to, you guys. Again, I don't know how well you can see this or hear this, but here's Rocket. I don't know why I didn't see that, but I'm listening for this right now. See if you can hear that. That confirms.
Highway 64 at 2,500 on the 030 radial off of Rocket.
Sweet. All right. So that confirms that we have the correct VOR now tuned, the Rocket VOR. And the nice thing about Rocket is, as you can see, it puts us kind of right in line with this highway that we're looking for.
Yeah, blistering 110 knots.
Yeah, I think we're not quite doing 100, so you might end up passing us. It's
pedal faster.
It's really cool to be able to do that, don't you think, Slim? I mean, that's something that's not required necessarily, but it's really awesome to be able to actually listen to that. It just adds one more factor of immersion and realism. All right, what I'm doing also is I need to readjust my like what I'm looking for. So this says I should be coming on to Moontown off of the 107 outbound. So let's spin this guy here to 107. 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 9 miles. So when I'm 9 miles away, I'm 13 now, so I'm getting close, you guys. And then again, right hand pattern, runway 26. Really want to fly the DC-6. Oh, you got modded out there because of your typo, man. Yeah, the DC-6 with the gyro pilot instead of the autopilot because you actually have to fly. Yeah, it's I really like that. I fly the AeroWorks DC-3, and it's another one that has kind of a little bit of old school navigation. But that DC-6, it's a fun airplane. I have not actually been in it now for quite a while, and I need to. There's a little update I need to get, and yeah, I really need to get back in that plane because it is a ton of fun. It's similar to that 247, that Boeing 247, in that you really also have to pay attention to the engines. You have to. Okay, yeah, I knew where you were going there, Slim. So I've got kind of a conservative Autobot here. We try to be, family friendly here. So that's sometimes it just. It's a little sensitive. It's okay though. You haven't gotten the DC-6 yet? Yep. You've been watching Nerd Bark. I think I've seen him, but I'm not a regular over there on his channel. I'm gonna have to check it out. But yeah, the DC-6 is it's worth every penny. It's another fantastic PMDG creation, and certainly super deep and complex, and lots and lots of of hours of learning and enjoyment, and fairly priced. It's not like the 247 that's $20. It's not that, but fairly priced. All right, there's I'm trying to think if I see that little crick anywhere. Not 100% sure. Whoops. Stay on course. There is Huntsville Executive, I bet, which means that we're actually flying. We shouldn't be. Yeah, we should not be. Moontown. I'm gonna have to adjust here. Moontown is back to the east of Huntsville Executive. So yeah. So there you go. We went right on the money with that, with that heading, but we were pretty close, and we're going to end up being 9 or 10 miles off in a 40-mile leg. So Huntsville Executive traffic, Cessna 11816 is VFR southbound at 2,500, transitioning the area north to south. Huntsville Executive. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I'm just basically turning parallel to the Huntsville Executive Airport. I do recognize the hill in front of us. That's the hill we had to avoid on the climb out. So I'm putting our airfield at about my 11 o'clock right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to plan on jumping in the right-hand downwind, which kind of parallels that 4-lane highway. And it'll be right-hand downwind to base, and then base to final. Moontown is 655 feet, so we're going to say 700, which means we need to be down to 1,700 for pattern altitude. Snippet Plays has heard good things about PMDG stuff. Yep, really, really excited about the 737 that's coming out. That actually was my very first ever airplane add-on that I paid for in any sim way back in my FSX days, and it doesn't really fit my channel motif super well. I'm kind of more of a GA and vintage airline guy, but the 737 holds just a special place in my heart because it's also the first jet plane that I ever rode on as a kid, so it's yeah, it's just going to always be in my rotation. Slim, thank you, man. Yeah, it is fun to try to do that. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it might be easier to follow rivers and roads and that kind of stuff, but it's not a bad thing to try to dead reckon also, just because you don't realize how tricky it is to fly straight. And we don't really have bad weather. I mean, imagine if we had any kind of crosswind or anything like that. Panagon, I do well in the A300. Thank you, my friend. You know, that is another fun. That plane, that surprised me how much I like that plane. I kind of got that plane on a whim, and I got it because I was sort of semi-curious about Airbuses. I always was kind of considered myself a Boeing guy. And but I saw that A300 come out, and I'm like, what I've never really done is I've never really flown an Airbus, and I've never really done any kind of cargo flight. So I'm like, the A300, it looks just like a Boeing. It has a yoke, and it has so many things on the overhead and on the the panel that look like Boeing. That I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and get it, and I'm gonna just see what it's all about. And I was so surprised at how much I enjoyed that. In fact, I enjoyed it enough that I bought the A310. I had no reason to buy the A310 even because I had the A300 already, but I have enjoyed both of them immensely, and they are a part of my rotation as well. And I've enjoyed cargo flying more than I thought. There's probably not much, like you can't get much further from what we're doing right now. Between this and cargo, like long haul cargo flying, there's literally not much difference between there's nothing that's farther apart, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, guys, I think I see the road. And we're supposed to be, we're only 4 miles now.
Executive
We're supposed to be 8 miles
Cessna 8
away,
Hotel
so
Sierra transitioning the area north to south, 2,500 on sole executive.
all right. There's the highway. Moonville traffic, Cessna 816 is about 4 miles to the west of the field at 2,000. We're in a right hand. We'll enter the right hand pattern, runway 26, Huntsville. Moonville. Moontown. Moonville. Moon, whatever you are.
What's your name?
Oh my goodness. That's not it, right? No, that's just like some kind of weird clear cut. Yeah, it's on the other side of this hill. Sniffit says that might be the only tube you'd fly. Yeah, it's fun. And so you feel a little bit like, okay, like I learned how to fly an Airbus, which is kind of cool. Oh, we've got, see the traffic out there? They're not reporting, but we need to stay clear of them. They look like they're in the right-hand pattern already. So we're gonna start to slow down a little bit there. Moon Pie, yeah, it's one of those moon names, right? Okay, guys, this is not going to be as easy. We've got another mile to go. It's right along the road, guys. It is literally right along the road here. So,
Moontown traffic, Cessna 8 Hotel Sierra, about 5 miles to the northwest, inbound for landing.
okay, I think I see the field. I think it's right over there. Yep. All right, Moontown. Okay, let's get back into flaps range. I see the hangar row and all that good stuff. And I saw where that airplane was going in. It's nice that airplane was ahead of us because it kind of gave us a little bit of a hint. Okay, let's pull power back. We're at 1500, so we're in good shape altitude-wise. Moontown traffic, Cessna 816 is a beam midfield on the right-hand downwind 26, Moontown. First notch of flaps coming in. And again, we're a little bit wide, but that's the way it goes. Just kind of been our MO today. All right, speed's looking good. Still really don't have the runway in sight, but I think I see where we need to go. Moontown traffic, Cessna 816 is turning right base, runway 26, Moontown. I also didn't set my heading bug here, did I? I kind of got a little bit lazy on this return trip. That's dangerous. That's when bad things happen. Alright. Second notch of flaps. That clearing is what I'm looking for right there. That's our field. Very good, very good. Moontown traffic, Cessna 816 on the final 26, Moontown. Right on the other side of the road. Yep, that's us. A little high, aren't we? Final notch of flaps coming in. Here we go. Lights are set. Gear, undercarriage, mixture, props, don't have a prop lever, and switches. We're ready to go. Way is clear. Man, this is a pretty little place, isn't it? Positive ground contact. Oh, a bouncer. Oh, there you go. A bonus landing. How did I bounce that? I had no energy. Crazy. Crazy. Yep, that's where we're at. Well, that's okay. That wasn't the worst landing in the world. Clean up the Flappy McFlappensteins. There's a random runway painting. Shouldn't be there. Turn off the lights so we don't blind everybody. And let's get set here.
Good job.
And we'll watch Mr. Downwind Sim make his approach and landing as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was. That was probably not quite as good as the. It was a better approach, but I don't think I executed the landing quite as well. But that's okay. That happens sometimes. It wasn't bad, but kind of a C- deal there. I really should turn all my avionics off first. And yep, then I kill the power. All right, mixture back to idle cutoff. We may lose comms here, but we'll keep an eye out for downwind sim. Alternator battery off. That's off, and yeah, let's hop outside and see what we can see here with our friend. We'll stay connected to VATSIM, so we will still see the man as he comes around the horn here. But while he does that, then I'm going to maybe catch up on chat a little bit here. You guys have been so patient with me. Appreciate that. Turn and burn, yeah, I'm not on Pilot Edge, and that's an interesting platform, no doubt about it. A little more serious, I think, in terms of being able to provide top-down coverage, but also the paid aspect of it kind of is what I can't quite do just yet. Thank you, by the way, Sniff It, for the cheer bits. I think you've cheered a couple different times, and I really do appreciate that. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, you did 25 early on. Thank you. Scores on the dirt runway are very debatable. Turner Burn says, "Yeah, we'll go with that." NJ Milcom, thank you so much for the follow. I hope I said that right. Thank you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Let's see what the Volanta touchdown report has to say here. By the way, that's kind of always what you have to look at. It at least gives you some data, and you take it with a grain of salt. So negative 170 and 53 knots, so that was good. And it didn't register the bounce. Well, I definitely bounced it, but negative 170 is doable. The 0.99 G's is really what I like. You don't want it to be too soft, but this plane, like, there's nothing that's activated by G-force, so it's okay to be fairly light, especially on the turf. And 53 knots, that's also very good. Light winds though, 269 at 2, so it should have been easy. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can see we were off right from the beginning. So either I had a bad course, or I'm not 100% sure, but once we got down here by, right there is that executive airport. That's kind of where we knew we were in a little bit of trouble. And then we made our turn, and no, there's our executive airport. We were able to correct in time, and I actually was thinking to myself, let's miss out here by Gurley, and then let's come up this way and land, but it worked out the other way. I wonder how close I actually got to the airspace there, but that's, neither here nor there. Did it rain after lunch? The dirt runway? I don't know. The funny thing about that turn and burn is where we just Milcham. Okay, Milcham. Okay, thank you, Milcham. NJ Milcham. Well, welcome, and it's glad to have you. I'm glad to have you. Turn and burn. When we flew up in Montana yesterday, we had some runways that almost every single one of them had the same warning. It said basically, don't land. You will get stuck and rut the runway due to gumbo. Like, they were all made of that gumbo clay. And so that was kind of funny to see that. Like 7 runways in Montana, and they all had that. All right, well, we just about have, I think, downwind sim he's got to be getting close here. Let's see if we have. Can we see him on? Yeah, there he is. Hotel Sierra. He's lost. He went past Hotel Sierra. No, he's on the downwind, I think, right there. So we should see him turning here soon. And while he's doing that, let me go ahead. Let me finish off with the thank yous and the welcomes and all that good stuff. And then I'll tell you what I've got coming up on the stream later on as well, in case you want to come back and hang out some more, or even fly along. Even better, just fly along with us. So we had a bunch of new follows tonight. It's great to see some new faces, make some new friends. You guys are really going to enjoy the guys that I have in the chat. Sniff It Plays, there you go, right on cue. Thanks for the follow. NJ Milcham, thank you as well. We had Dave TPNW. I don't know that I said thank you, Dave, for your follow. If you're still here, thank you. Welcome. We had Slim Pickens. We had Bubble Me Tuna. Let's see. We had True Mav. True Mav, I don't know if I welcomed you as well, but thank you so much if you're still here for the follow. It's great to have you guys on board. Welcome to Prop Culture, as my grandson would say. We also had a gift ascription there. Flying with Mike gifted us Tier 1 ascription to Kevo Zenji, our friend Kevo Zenji. And then Bubble Me Tuna, he used his Prime ascription, his one and only, to sub to our channel. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Sniff It tossed us 25 bits and then 20 bits, and then Michael, November 8033 Foxtrot, came in with an awesome raid. So thank you. And Sniff It, don't mention it's good to have GA people. Yeah, we try to find each other. We definitely try to find each other. And it's great to have you guys here. Let's see, everybody else in the chat. Turn and Burn, my friend, thank you for being here. We had, of course, Good Fixins. My dear mod. I need to do a mod appreciation for that guy, Brett. Good Fixins, Leon Hammer. The first, he does a great job. Oh, I hear Downwind Sim up there. He's doing a little flyover. Yeah, he got lost. I'm down here. I got a campfire going for you, buddy. Brett, thanks for all your hard work on the mods tonight.
Appreciate that. Be right down.
Michael, good to see you as well. Thanks for coming in. Panagon was here, our good friend Panagon Rob. Thank you. Always great to talk to you. And Panagon, did I tell you thanks for the message you gave me the other day? I appreciate that. If I didn't, thank you, buddy. Very encouraging. Very, very nice of you.
I love X America. I flew right past it. Never knew it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome. Let's see. I'm about to the farthest I can go. Scrolling up, Flying with Mike, I know was here earlier as well. And if anybody else was here before that, I just can't quite scroll up any further. If you were here early on, thank you for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a different type of stream for me, a little bit more educational and informative, and that's sort of what this series is going to be. It's not going to maybe be quite as long of a pre-flight, because I did introduce you to a few of the tools that I'm going to be using throughout, but I'm going to do this once a month, guys, so I'd love to have you fly along. If you check in the About section under my channel here, you will see my stream schedule, and that's the best way to maybe know when these events are coming up. I try to keep it about a month out. Sometimes I have to make some adjustments if things come up, but usually you'll have about a month's worth of flights listed there in that About section. So if you see this is called Fly In Camp Out, FICO, FICO. If you see that coming up, it's intended to be a group event, and would love to have you for next month. We'll do this again. There's like every state in the United States has airstrips that are a part of this group, and so we have like so many different places we can fly, and I don't know that we'll get all 50. There he comes. Look at that. Nice. Nicely done, my friend. Nicely done. By the way, that's Downwind Sim, and you know him probably as the mad scientist of X-Plane.
Thing flies like a dream.
But make sure you go check him out also on the Twitch. He's currently he's supposed to be in a Cessna 152. My mods or my CSLs are all messed up, but he streams in VR, so it's a really cool experience. You want to go check him out. How long have I been streaming Microsoft Flight Sim? Basically, slim since it came out. What is this? A year and a half. Before that, I've been on X-Plane, and I still stream X-Plane. And then before that, P3D, and then before that, FSX. So I've been doing it for a little while now, and I love it. I love coming and hanging out with you guys. It's super therapeutic, and just a great way to spend a little bit of time winding down at the end of the day. All right, so speaking of my flights coming up, this Thursday is my next scheduled flight.
Wow, do I show up as a caravan?
Yes, indeed. It's not exactly a 150, but it's not a bad substitute. This Thursday, I'm going to be up
Only
in
$1.5 million.
up in the Boston virtual area. They've got their monthly regional circuit, and I'll be in the Metroliner. We'll be flying from Boston to Albany to Long Island, MacArthur, and then back up to Boston in that Metroliner over in X-Plane. Then Saturday, it's the next episode of the Bravo tour. We're doing this little tour where we fly to all the Class Bravo airspaces in the U.S., and we will be going from Las Vegas to Seattle. By the way, the aircraft that you selected for that was the Q400. So we will be in X-Plane in the Q400 flying from Vegas to Seattle, and when we fly during that route, we'll figure out where we're flying afterwards, and we'll get the next poll going for the next aircraft. And then a week from today, on the 12th, I'm actually hosting an event for the Virtual USA Flying Club. It's called the Rio Run, and we'll be back in Microsoft Flight Sim. We'll be in that Piper Warrior, and we'll be flying up the Rio Grande River there on the Texas-Mexico border. So we'd love to have you there. By the way, the Virtual USA Flying Club, there should have been a Discord link that buzzed around here. That we would love to have you as a part of that group. Also, if you are a general aviation fan, that is a really fun group to be a part of. And let's see, I think I just I'm trying to find it here. But does anybody happen to have that link to the Virtual USA Flying Club Discord channel? It does cycle through in my announcements, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, there we go. I've got it. So here you go, guys. This is the link to our Discord. If you go over there, you'll be in the waiting room for just a little bit, and we will get you signed up. All you have to do is have a valid VATSIM ID and just be in good standing, and know what you want your tail number to be. Also, that's the three things, and then we'll get you going. And again, if you like general aviation flying, we do 3 to 4 organized VATSIM events every month, and it's just a really great way to learn more about just how awesome general aviation can be. So yeah, come check us out, and we'd love to hang out some more with you over there. Will Dog 6 was fun, and yeah, man, it is a blast flying in this little one filthy, as they call it sometimes. It's a great aircraft. All right. Well, guys, it is time to go find somebody who's doing something here that is related to our channel. Oh, you know what? We need to go do this. We're going to jump on over to our friend Iowa Scotsman. We have not rated Iowa Scotsman for a little while, and I think he just got started, so that'd be a great dude to go check out. I will meet you over there, guys. Let's go toss him a couple of raid emotes, maybe a flaming dragon. I got the new fire starter remote. You can, even though I didn't catch anything on fire, you can toss him a few fire starter emotes as well. I'll meet you over there. We'll talk a little bit more, but until Thursday, hopefully I'll see you again. But if not, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you as soon as we can. Take care. God bless.
Thanks for watching my papa.